Hi there. Welcome to you all. Welcome to the gates of hell. Well, not really, but welcome to the gates of the occupied zone. Today, I will be giving you all of the information that you need to successfully navigate the zone and to exit the other side. If you could please all hold your questions until the end, I would be most grateful. For now, take some time to start familiarising yourself with some of the sounds that you'll hear from the other side of that gate. Hopefully then it won't be quite as startling when you get through. I'm sure you're all aware of the types of alien contained within this zone. However, it won't hurt for me to remind you what they do, what they look like, and how best to avoid them. A few reminders before we begin. After this briefing, the gates will open, you will step through, and they will close. Once they are closed, that is it. They will not reopen. If you were to change your mind or to get into trouble at all whilst in there, there is no rescue coming for you. You won't get a second attempt to cross the zone. It's either that or become a part of the ecosystem itself. I don't doubt there are a few survivors who now live in the zone. If you're lucky and get stuck, you might encounter them. But for now, begin by calming yourselves down. There are a few worried faces among you, especially you. There's no need to be worried. Everything you need to stay safe is on my clipboard, okay? And it really is in everyone's interest for you to cross to the other side. So begin, everybody, by just taking a few deep breaths in and calming yourselves right down. Take some breaths for me. Don't be worried. It's fine. I have to say, you do look like a very well-prepared group, and that speaks to your favour. Although I might recommend that once you get going, you really only look out for yourself. How are we feeling now? A little calmer, a little happier, a little readier to proceed, perhaps? Okay, good. So we start by making a quick note of the numbers. Let's pop your hands up at the back for me. Anybody missing that we know of? Okay, good. So, you're aware that once the gates are closed, they remain closed. Next, learn to trust your eyes, because if you misidentify what you're seeing in there, well, you won't get a second chance to correct it, unfortunately. Okay. Right. Ready to refresh your memory as to what aliens are marauding on the other other side of that gate. Okay. Remember that they don't necessarily mean you any harm, but they don't wish you well on your way either. Not all of them speak, they don't have the capacity to speak, nor do they always understand, which is why for many of these, evasion is the best strategy. So let's begin with one that you will all be familiar with. Anybody want to tell me about those that we call the sentinels? Actually, best if I describe them, perhaps. At the end of the day, I want you to have a clear description in your head. So listen very carefully, and as I am describing, try and form that mental image. You know that the sentinels are tall. Tall, biomechanical, almost polished skin. And they do not look humanoid at all. They do have limbs, but they are very, very long. Almost elongated from top to bottom. Their heads are very smooth, also elongated and almost reflective. That polished theme will come back. Lots and lots and lots of teeth and very, very sharp claws. Speak of the devil. It's almost as if they know that we are talking about them, and this is why I've started with them. You're likely to encounter them first on your travels. They're often completely still, or patrolling in very small areas. If they notice you, you might see them assessing you via a little head tilt. Just trying to see if you are some sort of threat or simply not worth bothering with. You'll find it goes very, very quiet once the sentinels are aware that you are there. And that's perfectly normal. They won't chase immediately. They'll be busy deciding what to do with you, and once they decide, well, it'll be over very quickly either way. They'll either go back to their patrols. Anyway, so the best way is to ignore any sort of sentinel activity. If they are interested in you, there's nothing you can do other than prove you're no threat. Begin to move slowly and deliberately towards the other side of the occupied zone. Almost as if you couldn't care less that they are there. Left foot, right foot, looking straight ahead. Think you can try it? Exactly. If you feel you have an itch on your nose, hand up very slowly and back down again. If you need to reach for something. Very slowly. Whatever you do, don't make a noise and don't run. It's the worst thing that you could do. If you run, they will give chase. If one is in front of you, simply avert your gaze and continue to walk. So, let's quickly, everyone, avert your gaze for me. Marvellous. So how are we feeling? The gates open, on you go. It's a good start. There have been recent reports of hunters in there as well. You will recognise them because they sit very, very low to the ground. You'll notice their breathing movements as they are very, very large. So even though they're not tall, they're low, you'll see their breathing movements. Because they're not tracking you by stealth, they are accomplished hunters. Look out for their tendrils. It's very, very important. Well, okay, so they can go under the ground, but it's not usually necessary. They will lay them out, like traps. Really is something to behold. Once again, this is about evasion. This is about learning the environment around you. The more you display panic, the more interested in you it will be. Rather than looking ahead at this point, looking down towards the ground is going to be your lifesaver here. Do not step on those tendrils. Simple as that. Because if you do, you may find yourself, well, ensnared. And, well, at that point you really are on your own. You'll notice that the air feels a little heavier, a little warmer, if you are in the vicinity of a hunter. I will always say, go with your gut. If your gut feel is saying that something is wrong, then something is wrong. They move very, very slowly. So if you see one and you've avoided the tendrils on the floor, then there's a very good chance you can simply back away and go round. There will be no sudden movements to trick you. Eyes open, eyes down. You'll be clear of the sentinels by this point because, well, the tendrils are just as dangerous to them as they are to you. So, once you're around them, you're fine. They won't follow. So, take a scan of the floor around you now. Just start noticing the landscape. Hopefully by now, the background noises shouldn't worry you anymore. If you're feeling a little worried, take a deep breath for me. Okay. to look at what is next. Take that one. Take this. Yeah, take a look at it. Don't take it in with you though. You'll need your eyes peeled. You will find there are some aliens in there who are lookouts. They camouflage particularly well. However, you'll still see their silhouette. It will look a little like a mirage to you. If you think you've seen something out of the corner of your eye or even in front of your eyes, take it seriously. If you hear them, the movements and the sounds won't match up. I can't tell you exactly how they're going to sound because they will make sounds that they think you will want to hear. So it really could be anything, depending on what's in your heads right now, which is another good reason to simply concentrate on that breathing and on the awareness around you so you're not giving yourselves away. Even when they're far away, they can make themselves sound very close, which can be very disorienting. Sometimes, though, you won't realise they are there until you are literally face to face, so to speak, with them. At that point, you must stay still. Close your eyes, cover your ears, and wait for them to pass. So, all of you please, close your eyes and cover your ears for a few moments and listen only to the sound of your breathing. And when you are ready, uncover your ears. Just nudge them for me, please. Uncover your ears. Eyes open. You'll find that they will be gone sort of, well, a good 4 times out of 10. It's a good rate of return. It's a very good rate of return. Then you have your environmental predators. They work slightly different to the hunters. Again, not always visible. But they look like liquid almost, sort of organic matter rather than with form. Almost a sort of wet looking surface. Don't mistake it for a mirage. Don't mistake it for a body of water. To the best of our knowledge, there is no water in the occupied zone. It will move in a way that doesn't feel right and doesn't look right. It will look alien. Any surfaces it's covering will look wrong, will look distorted, and you might hear a soft hissing or sort of crackling sound, something like that. It won't hurt you, but it also won't let you go. And there's no way you can break free. There's just no way. If you see something spreading towards you, then your path prediction will be critical here. Choose your path and go around it. But remember, that's not the only thing out there. You might well need to employ some other strategies to avoid some of the other aliens. If you can, always be planning your next move. If you are forced into a direction change, a little turnaround might be the correct way. Go back on yourself, regroup, go around, checking first for any other distortions, any hunters, any errant sentinels. Easy, just like a little maze to negotiate. What you mustn't do is move too slowly. It won't end well. It won't end nicely, but it will end quickly. Finally, we have been made aware of a new alien who has taken up residence at the gate, the other side of the occupied zone. It's very important when you get there to let the people on the other side of the gate know that you are there and to let you in. There will be a delay as they assess whether or not you are being pursued. But once the gate is open, you step straight through. Unfortunately, between you and the gate, though, is a judgment entity. Now, this one is a very tall version of what we used to call the little green man. The kind of typical alien. He's not green. He's kind of a bone colour. He's not glossy or shiny or reflective or anything like that. He doesn't really have a face. He's absolutely still, but you'll hear him in your head. You'll feel observed before you see him. He's judging you. He's judging whether it is beneficial to let you out of the zone. If he decides against it, well, he won't chase you. You won't be permitted to go any further. I don't quite know what makes him think he's qualified to decide. But there he stands. And even if you approach as a group, you'll find, inexplicably, that you're unable to pass until he has judged you. Sorry. We're working on it. We're working on how to remove him. The best thing to do is simply stand. Concentrate on that breathing and try and empty your head of all thoughts. Or send him something to judge. Know what I would do. So finally and quickly, before I open these gates for you, a little, well, not Q&A, a little quiz. So, when is the best time to be controlling your breathing? Yeah, good. You hear sounds that are familiar to you. What do you do? Do we agree with that? Now's the time to be very, very certain. The ground looks like it's moving. Where do you go? Where do you go? Where do you go? So a few final tips for you. Firstly, remember, once these gates are closed, they don't reopen. If you hesitate, that might well be it. If you react too strongly, that might be it. If you are recognised or worthy of being judged, then you won't leave that zone. Walk naturally, as if the zone is yours to own. All you have to do is cross the short distance. And finally, remember why you're doing this. Remember what is at stake. But also remember what's waiting for you at the gate on the other side. I wish you all the very best of luck. You're not looking any calmer than you were before. Nor are you. You are. You must have been paying attention. So all that's left for me to do is unlock the gate. We're going to listen for a decent break in the sound, and then through you will go. So, a few more deep breaths, everybody. Let's get this gate open.